everybody. Good night. Good night. Hey, I'm already canceling myself before I even started. I guess that's the way things are going these days. Good evening, everybody. I am tonight going to be making a solo character for the Legend in the Mist TTRPG that just came out. It's kind of a system I've never tried before, but I've kind of messed around with it a little bit of solo before. And I thought tonight I'm going to make a brand new character and share it with you. So I'm probably going to make lots of mistakes. If I see something that I do egregiously badly, please just put it in the comments. Let me know. This is the way I'm learning it. What I've decided tonight is I'm going to try a different kind of character. The first one I made was, your basic fighter type, just to try everything out myself. Tonight, I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to go over and show the book. So what we're going to be doing tonight is I've decided I want to try I'm going to try using a trope to create a character. And then I'm going to actually just make them in Foundry, because that's the way I'm going to be kind of running my solo game. And then maybe later on, if I run another game, I'll do it there. So what you do really to create the characters is, and I'm not going to really go through the whole system here. I'm going to really just create a character and maybe start playing a little bit. But you don't really have stats in this game. What you have is tags that essentially give you pluses and minuses on things. I've done real basic training on this game. So again, I don't think I'm going to get too advanced on these videos, but we'll kind of see. And if you enjoy this, please give the video a like, and let me know in the comments what you like, what you don't like, that kind of thing. So anyway, we are going to go through, I'm going to use a trope. What I've decided to do is I've looked at the magician's tropes, and I am going to use the wide-eyed apprentice as a kind of a guide for what I'm going to make. I've already started looking at a character. Excuse me. Started looking at a character and kind of picked out some of the things I want to do with them. So I've started to fill in a couple things. But what we're going to do first is we're going to get a drink first. Okay, sorry about that, folks. And what we're going to do is we're going to look through kind of what that trope entails. Again, this kind of sounds like to me like Sorcerer's Apprentice. So I thought, hey, that might be a fun character to start off with. What you have is you start off with three themes, essentially. Rudimentary magic, curious, and a hardworking drudge. So I'm going to kind of mess around with them for a little bit, and then we're going to see what we can get up to. So let me go back over to the sheet then. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to Foundry actually. So let me do that real quick. And wrong screen, Tom. Okay, so we're going to remove that. Hey, Diver, thanks for joining. And we're going to share the stop screen, and we're going to share a new screen here. And we're going to go to Foundry. And not the Foundry screen I wanted to see. Great. All right, we're batting 1,000 tonight. Let's go over here. Put my character here. And where are they? Winlynn. Yeah, her name is going to be Winlynn. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with her. I'm thinking I might make her a possibly maybe a half elf, something like that. Gonna think about what I want to do with her first. So let's share that screen again there. Winlynn, here we go. Okay, so the setup they have in Foundry right now is still considered demo, so it's works pretty good. I have the feeling there's probably going to be some things they're going to update at some point, but they did use this for the folks who were kind of demoing this, I think, when it was on a Kickstarter. So So again, kind of going back to my character sheet, and I'm not going to be able to share everything at once, so I'm just going to keep probably Foundry up for a little bit. She has rudimentary magic. She's curious and hardworking drudge. And what I'm going to do is I'll go through kind of what those mean. The last one you can pick, I came up with witch blood, because that's going to, what you describe as like they're people. So that's one I actually want to kind of mess around with. And I'm really kind of interested to see what we can do with that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go back over to rudimentary magic. So in the book, I'm going to go to page 128. And what they do is they give you sample tags that you can use. What these do is these are things that are always true. So they are something that your character might be known for, something they can do. Here's some of the choices they give you under rudimentary magic. Mostly bells and whistles, word of unlock, memorize spells, cute little flourish, history of magic, controlled experiment, beginner's wand, deflect spell, benefit of the doubt. So what I can do is I can pick two of those. I like beginner's wand because always being always being kind of a fighter myself in games, I always got to start off with some kind of weapon. So I'm not very good with magic characters, so we will see how this goes. It may be a horrible experience. Beginner's wand, okay. The next one is let's see, history of magic. I'm thinking they're a kid. Word of unlock sounds really useful, but it might not be very useful outside of maybe unlocking doors and things. Mostly bells and whistles could be interesting. Deflect spell. I think benefit of the doubt. Maybe because when she gets into trouble, people will say, "Oh, she's just a kid. Let's just let her go." So we're gonna go with benefit of the doubt. Now, you also have to add a weakness, and this is going to be one of the things you also are going to roll in. Can't match trained wizards, need to concentrate, tends to go boom. That sounds like a lot of fun. And unintended magic. Tends to go boom. That could be. That doesn't sound like it's going to come all the time, though. So I think I'm going to go with need to concentrate. Honestly, now these are things you can change later as you as your character starts to progress. So she may get to the point where she's gained skills and she can just cast things automatically. We're going to say right now, since she's still learning, she kind of has to fumble her way through things. So, okay. So we've done that one. And what we're going to do is we're going to move on to another card. So let's close this one. Okay, curious. All right. So let me go see where I find that at. Oops. Come on. 87. All right. So curious is personality. So that's going to be on page 100 here. And let's take a look. So again, this is their temperament, their personal aura or style, common behavior. So curious. Some of the tags are learning environment, inundate with questions, all in my notebook, subtle inquiry, passion for the truth, inventive, point out peculiarities, recognize false answers, and deep thinker. I like recognize false answers. That one just kind of speaks to me because that sounds like, maybe even though she's a kid, she can kind of sniff out bullshit like pretty easily. So, I can't spell, and I recognize false answers. And let's fix the spelling there. Okay. And then the other one, all all in my notebook, learning environment. I kind of maybe see her as somebody that maybe we're going to start off with. She's still working. She's still an apprentice, kind of working with the wizard or sorcerer. But maybe she's getting ready to kind of go out on her own. Maybe she's going to get kicked out. We're going to have to see how the story goes. We're going to use the solo rules and just see how things go. So I think all in my notebook might be good. Let's edit that. Come on. Come on, Foundry's being a pain in the ass here. Edit. Okay. All right. So, we got that. Now, weaknesses. Overlooked danger, really annoying, prying and invasive, those with something to hide. Really annoying, I think I'm going to go with. She just maybe sometimes just doesn't know when to quit asking questions. So we're going to close that one. Okay, hardworking drudge. So we're gonna see what this one does. So, come on. Edit. There we go, hardworking drudge. So let me pop over to something real quick. And yeah, let's take a look here. So, hardworking drudge. Go back over here. Okay, it's a circumstance. So we're going to go to here. Okay, so background, social standing, unique situation, walk of life. So, and we chose hardworking drudge. Tool of my trade, you choose your school. Fellow laborers, stiff upper lip, work smarter, not harder. Whispered conversations, roof over my head, master's secrets, need a little rest, put your back into it. I think master's secrets definitely sounds like something she's maybe picked up a little more. Maybe that's sometimes than she knows, or that her, the teacher she's working with knows. So we're going to take that one. And stiff upper lip. I like stiff upper lip because if she does end up out on her own, she's going to really have to be prepared for a cold, cruel world. None of my games are ever nice. So she's probably got to have to go through some suffering. All right. So now weaknesses are overworked, laborer's hands, beyond my means, cruel overseer. I like overworked because, frankly, aren't we all lately? So let's go with overworked. Okay. All right. And then the last one we're going to go to is Witchblood. And this is the one I'm really interested in because this is something I can kind of create myself. So let's go back and find out where that's going to be. That is going to be on page 98. Okay, so your ancestry, your heritage, your culture, your species. I had toyed around with the idea that maybe she's elven, maybe she's half elf. But let's take a look at what Witchblood does. Hidden stamina reserves, simple magic tricks, heirloom silver brooch, the true Witchblood story, bask in anonymity, share thoughts with the Witchblood, unexpected crackling bolt, mysterious and hard to read, vanish into thin air. Okay, well, first, vanish into thin air is definitely one that I want. Because maybe she can just kind of sneak about. I think we've kind of covered a lot of the rudimentary magic. I think would cover any like tricks and things. And this is something that we can really just kind of create ourselves. I don't think mysterious and hard to read because she's going to be annoying. So hidden stamina reserves. Let's go with that one. Oops, pulled that wrong. Okay. So, okay, now your weaknesses. No home. Witch bloods tend to clash. Freak occurrences. Wanted for valuable blood. Ooh. I like freak occurrences. You know, not saying she's completely based on Mickey Mouse, but the fact that maybe something weird can happen, maybe she does something wrong. You know, thinking back to Mage the Ascension, maybe just a little bit of paradox. You know, who knows? I know that's not really a thing in this game, but we'll just kind of keep that as a joke. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is we are going to look at what is in her backpack. That is kind of like something you kind of start off with. Again, it's another tag that you can use for your character. So let me go back to something real quick here. Let's see. So my backpack. Okay, I'll just go back to the trope again, and they give you ideas. Broom, herbal cleansing soak, or scroll with unknown power. I think we got to go broom. I think that's just, we got to go with a broom. Whether or not she can fly on it, well, we'll figure that out later. But broom, okay. Maybe it's just as just as simple as it's literally a broom that she that she carries about. So we have a spot here to put a portrait in. At some point, I'll maybe come up with a portrait for her. But I believe we are done. We're as done as we're going to for this character. I think what I want to do now is I'm going to actually go to the solo rules and kind of start to share some of that with you. So they call the solo rules, it's in a section called the Oracle. And what you do, and I'm going to actually share the screen for this to show you guys a little bit of this. So let's go back to here. And I'm going to stop that and show you a little bit of the information about the solo rules. Okay. All right. So what you have here is obviously you set up your game. You choose your setting and your genre. I think I'm going with just kind of just a generic fantasy realm. I haven't really sat down and thought about, the kingdom is called this. I think I'm going to just kind of start small and just kind of build from there. So we're going to go with the township of York. So anybody knows me that knows I went to school in York, Pennsylvania. So we're going to start with York Township. We're not going to really have a series challenge right now. These first couple of videos are literally just, hey, let's just kind of mess around and do some things. So we're just going to keep that as optional. Discover your first adventures. I'm going to have, I think she's starting off in York, and she will be an apprentice to, and let's go find a random name for the who she is an apprentice to. So I like using there's a fantasy name generator that I use. So we were going to go, let's go with, hell, it's just close enough. Let's just go with D&D. So let's say that she is an apprentice to a gnome wizard. Okay. And the gnome, it's goblins. I was going to say that doesn't sound like a gnome name. Let's try that again here. Go back at a Dungeons Dragons and a gnome. Okay. All right. And let's say that she is an apprentice to Orphix Wobble Fern. So I'm going to write down that Orphix Wobble Fern. Almost look like orifice at first, but we're going to say Orphix Wobble Fern. So that is her teacher, and she is going to be out on an errand for Orphix. And then that is what's going to start really the beginning of her story. So what we do in this game is, I mean, you establish kind of what the character sees. You see if there are any challenges or threats that arise from this. And then what the character then, if I was running a game for somebody else, say, okay, what do you do? So then that the player will say, okay, here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be the narrator and the player for all of this. So it's going to be random as it goes. And I love playing games like that. I have no idea what is going to happen beyond that. She is maybe got a basket and she's maybe got her broom strapped across her back, and she's on an errand for her teacher. So let's just go ahead and get started then. So what we are going to do is we start off with a scene. So again, I think she is going to be at the marketplace in York. It's maybe a late afternoon. She is absolutely exhausted from working all day, cleaning up every little thankless task that Orphix gives her. She's been doing. So we are going to switch over to Foundry and show you back that screen again. And Winlynn. All right. So let's go find her something to do. So I am going to come up with a situation. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, she has gotten into the marketplace. And she needs to get a certain kind of route from one of the vendors there. She's gotten there a little later than she had planned. It's almost getting towards late afternoon where some of the vendors are getting ready to pack up and leave. So she is making her way up there. And let's say that she knows the vendor's name is Bertha. Bertha, the biologist, and she also grows certain herbs and things like that are used in different spells and things like that. So Winlynn comes up. She is needing to see if she can get what she needs. She needs to buy what she can from Bertha. And she knows Bertha can be kind of difficult to deal with sometimes. So she knows that she needs to approach this carefully and see if maybe she can maybe sweet talk Bertha into making maybe one last sale for the day. So she's gonna walk up and say, well, first, let's go back through one thing first. We really have to decide, will Bertha even sell her anything, being that it's so late. So what they have one thing in here is they call interpretive questions, where what you can do is you can roll 2d6, roll d66, basically. Just take those rolls together and see if she is going to allow you to buy something. So actually what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to actually let you guys see the rolls. for her. There we go. And let me pop that out. And I'll just share that in a second so that you guys can kind of see that part of it. So let me go back to here. I'm going to remove that and that is the chat log. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to have Winlynn. She needs to add to her roll. What we can do is we're essentially rolling 2d6. And then what we're doing is we're adding in any tags that we think will be helpful to her to get Bertha to almost kind of sweet talk her to sell her something at the last minute. But then there's also some weaknesses that we have to apply too. So I believe for this, she could probably, I think she's going to have to, maybe, I don't know, benefit of the doubt. I think we're going to go with stiff upper lip. She is going to kind of gather her strength and decide, okay, I'm going to see if I'm polite, but I'm forceful and persistent. Maybe Bertha will agree to sell me something, even though it's late. Maybe we'll add in benefit of the doubt. Maybe she thinks maybe that will help her get by. And then we're going to do a weakness is going to be really annoying because Bertha knows that this girl, it can be annoying, and that maybe she doesn't always want to kind of deal with her. So this is what's going to be kind of just a quick roll to see if maybe she can still buy something. So we're going to roll, and Foundry, you can set it up so that it'll always ask you kind of what you're rolling. So I had 2 essentially pluses tags, and then the annoying one was a minus tag. So my total power, and then what I'm rolling is what's going to be added to my roll is 1. So I'm going to click. And the action fails, and there are consequences. So Bertha is not thrilled with Winlynn showing up at this hour. Don't you have any respect for schedules, young lady? I've been done for 10 minutes now, and you stride up with that annoying little voice of yours, asking for me, who's already begun to pack up, to put all this stuff back out on the table for you. Be gone with you, girl, and don't come back until you've learned some manners. So now, see, these consequences now are going to kind of hurt Winlynn a little bit, because now she's kind of irritated Bertha. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another tag for her, and I believe I can just put it in my backpack. Let's see. I don't know if I put it in my backpack or I think I add another tag here. That's right. So we are going to call this one Bad Reputation. Just call it Bad Rep. Okay. And then that is going to be a 1 for her. Oops. Or a 2, actually. Okay. So now when she tries to deal with Bertha, she is going to have a harder time until she can improve that reputation with Bertha. So Winlynn has completely failed at this to start off with, and has not gotten the roots that she needs for her teacher. But she knows a little bit of rudimentary magic, and maybe her under hardworking drudge, her master's secrets, maybe she knows a little bit about how to find maybe some of these roots. Or maybe she could be sneaky and try to follow Bertha and maybe find out where she gets her roots, if she won't sell them to her. So that's something we can consider. I think that would be a challenge for her, to say, okay, I've either got to go find them myself, or I'm going to have to possibly try to sneak and follow Bertha and see if I can find these roots. Um, I'm just going to roll a die. Actually roll just a d6. And if I get oops, I want to remove this now. Okay. So I am going to roll a d6. If I get a positive, she is going to follow Bertha. If she gets an odd number, she's going to see if she can track down these roots on her own. So let's go ahead and just find out what she's going to do next. And she got a 4. So she is going to try to follow Bertha back to her home or her farm or whatever, and see if she can figure out, where she keeps these roots. So this is going to be a challenge for her. So let's see. So we have the conflict oracle, but this is more of a challenge. So let's see. So they have, let's see, pre-made profile oracle. Yeah, okay. So this is actually places that you could go. So that sounds fun. Let's take a look at this. See if this could turn out really badly. I think maybe we'll start off kind of simple with, let's do an interpretive question. So this is going to be, Winlynn is going to say, okay, what is it going to take me to be able to follow Bertha safely? So with that, we are going to roll 2d6s, and we're going to get the numbers that's going to bring up. So we got a 44. Okay. The way the interpretive questions work is almost like tarot cards in a way. So a 44 is the well, temptation, taint or despoilment, dangerous locations, a mysterious stranger. Okay. Let's say a dejected Winlynn has decided she's going to wait until Bertha packs up. She's going to try to watch from a distance to see if she can track her down. And at last, about an hour later, Bertha has packed up her wagon with her donkey, and the donkey starts to head out of town towards a different location. Let's see what Winlynn can do to follow her, knowing that this road that she's going down looks like it's heading towards almost like a swamp area that's outside of town. The place where she lives at with her teacher is really kind of inside the town. It's it's very clean. It's very traditional. But Bertha seems to live somewhere else outside of town, and maybe that's an area that Orphex told her, you shouldn't go that way. It's an apprentice like you isn't ready for such things. But Winlynn does not want to go back without the item, the root that she needs. So she is going to have to try to find a way maybe to sneak or follow at a distance so that Bertha doesn't find her. The thing she does have is vanish into thin air, which I think is going to be better for if she gets caught. So I don't think it's something she can really, essentially turn into stealth mode, or she's, excuse me, really invisible or something. That might be something she could work on later, though. But for now, I think what she's going to do is she's going to use hidden stamina reserves. She's tired, but she has fortitude. She knows she needs to keep up on the trail and follow. So I believe that's the only one she can really use is hidden stamina. Bertha at the moment hasn't noticed her, so we're not gonna do anything with bad reputation. And I think, and stiff upper lip again. I think she really is just doesn't want to back down. She wants to find this thing. So overworked, though, I believe is a weakness that has got to come into play, though, at this point, because again, she's tired. So we are going to have a total 1 power, and let's roll it. And she succeeded, but there were consequences. So she has managed to keep a safe distance behind Bertha's wagons, or Bertha's wagon, but the road becomes a lot more twisty and turny than she had anticipated. She's like, how long is this road just from here just down to a damn swamp? But apparently it is much longer and down a hill that she had not planned on. So I'm going to say she has gained a tag of lost, or not lost, but we're going to say confused. So it's going to be harder for her to find her way around. So that's just 1 there for that one. Okay. But she has managed to follow maybe about halfway down the road. She is going to she's going to ask basically a yes or no question at this point. Be like, do I see maybe Bertha's house or farm? Do I see it ahead anywhere? And this is just going to be a straight yes or no question. So we are going to just roll 2d6, and that's going to be a 35, and that is an 8. So in this case, we're just looking for. And I was supposed to include the tags. Oops. Let me do that again then. So let's roll it again. So let's go back here, and we're just going to pull in stiff upper lip, stamina, and then the this time we're going to do the confused. We're going to include that. So, and that one, and let's roll it. And action succeeds, but there are consequences. So, in terms of just a yes/no answer, she notices that there are all sorts of thick plants along the road that are leading kind of down into some kind of mucky area. It's not kind of quite at the swamp yet, but she notices. She's like, what? Those aren't the things I'm looking for. And as she's checking it out, she's wondering, ooh, but looks like there's kind of a mist over that area. I don't know if that's going to be safe for me to get into. So she kind of has to make a decision. Does she just skip what she's looking at? Or is she going to continue forward? So I'm going to just roll a d6, and let's see what she does. Even, she continues. Odd, she bails. Even. So she's just going to continue following Bertha and not mess around with whatever that stuff is by the road. All right. So she watches from a safe distance to see if Bertha is what she's going to do when she gets there. Bertha gets off the wagon, ties up the donkey, and begins to unload her merchandise. Takes her about 15 minutes to unload everything, kind of walking back and forth. She's an older woman, kind of has a little bit of a limp, and kind of grumbles a little bit as she's bringing everything back and forth. Finally, just as it's about getting dark, she finishes, and that is then where Winlynn has to kind of make a decision. Is she going to try to break into this woman's warehouse? Is she going to look for maybe there's a garden where maybe some of these roots are growing? Or is she going to kind of scout around the out around the farm that, again, it kind of borders on a swamp? So I'm going to treat this as kind of an interpretive question. So what I'm going to do is roll 2d6. Let's see what we get here. 13. Okay, so a 13 is the elder, contentment, wisdom of age, introspection, someone wise with experience. Basically, she is going to say, well, what would Orphix do? Would Orphix just go charging in, or would he, use maybe some of his knowledge to maybe investigate from out here? Maybe concentrate and see if something pops into his mind. So I think that is Master Secrets, I think, is going to help her. The challenge really is to this, though, is she going to get close enough that she's going to make noise? Maybe the donkey will notice her and bray. Maybe she will make noise as she kind of crosses the farm. Bertha could see her. So really, she has to kind of decide kind of what the stakes are. To me, the stakes are that she needs to get this root and get back. She's already going to be late at this point, so Orphix is going to be kind of mad with her. But if she comes back without that root, then she's really going to be in trouble. So she's going to take that chance to sneak onto the farm and in the growing dark, see if she can find this root. So it's going to be tough on her. She could light a candle, but again, she probably takes that chance on being seen. So I think she is going to maybe keep that broom out in front of her. Maybe she can use it to move things, move bushes, things like that. So she's gonna use that. So she is going to first try to get to the farm first to see if she can find what she needs without getting seen. So that's going to be kind of that first roll she needs to make. So we are going to go add our tags first. So I think she's Master Secrets. You know what? She has her beginner's wand. Maybe that is something she can use to kind of sense, maybe help direct her senses towards this root. Man, it's part of her rudimentary magic. And let's start with that. And then confused, I think, is still going to play a part of it because she's kind of in a strange area. She doesn't know what she's looking for yet. So she's going to roll that. And here we go. Okay, the action succeeds, but there are consequences. She slips through and gets onto the farm. Maybe found out that her wand has a little bit of light at the tip, not just enough maybe to help her kind of see where she's going. But the consequences are that she stepped in a gopher hole, partially stepped in and kind of catches her foot and kind of went, ugh! And then she pauses like, oh no, I made a noise. She now, as she can see a little bit, is going to see if she can find this root. I haven't named the root. We're just going to call it the root to keep things simple for tonight. What she's going to do, though, is she's going to scan the farm and see if she can find some of these roots. So I believe the beginner's wand is definitely helping her. Stiff upper lip. And I think that's fair. And then she's still got a 1 for confused. So let's roll that. All right, the action fails. Okay. So while she is moving about, she can't find this root. She's wandered all around to the point of she's spent so much time that then she hears a voice call out from the farm. "Aye, who's out there on my farm? I see a light. Is it a pixie? Is it a will-o'-the-wisp? Who's out there on my farm?" All right. So now she's got to bail. She's got to get out of here. So that is where I believe vanish into thin air definitely comes into play. And she's probably not going to be able to use that wand, but she doesn't know about that broom yet. I want to keep that for later. So I think vanish into thin air and hidden stamina reserves, and the confused is still going to come into play. So we're going to make another roll here. The action fails. Oh boy, poor Winlynn. The ancestral power of the vanish into thin air just doesn't seem to work. She just thinks she's disappeared, that nobody can see her, and she just kind of starts breaking off into a run. And that's when Bertha calls out. She says, "Is that you? Is that you, Winlynn? I told you I wouldn't sell anything. You get off my farm now. You're banned from my shop. And tell Orfix I'm never going to sell him anything again." So this has increased her reputation, her bad reputation, up to a level 2 now. And she must return back to her home to face Orfix, and does not have the one of the items that she was supposed to get. So I think that's actually a pretty good place to stop for tonight. We'll pick up next time with what happens with when she gets back to see Orfix, and the bad reputation that she has. So thanks anybody who watched. Diver, thank you for joining in. If you liked this video and you enjoy it, please again let me know in the comments, and I'd like to do a little more in the coming weeks. So have a good night, everybody, and thanks for watching.